Good evening. I'd like to call this regular meeting for the city of San Juan at 6 p.m. May we rise for invocation? Mr. Arjona, can you lead us, please, sir?
Yes, if we can please bow our heads. Dear Father, we thank you for the opportunity to gather this day and for the many gifts that you give us, especially the gift of life itself. We ask for your guidance throughout this meeting, that all of our thoughts and actions reflect your holy will, and that you will grant us the grace to make the best decisions for our staff and city. We always pray in your name. Amen.
Amen. Flag for Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Please swap.
Ms. Diana, any public comments?
No public comment.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, sir.
Mayor, Commissioners, staff, community, good evening. Welcome back to the new year. Happy New Year to everybody. We're starting at a very good positive note. Tonight we have presentations, and we have pretty much every department is presenting. Everybody should be here. Everybody should be ready, available for any questions you may have on any of these departmental reports. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back. We have a proclamation proclaiming January the 21st as National Human Trafficking Awareness and Prevention Month. In front of you, you have the proclamation, Mayor. You want to read it? It's an insert. Did you pass the proclamation? Proclamation, Mayor, Commissioners, it reads as follows. January 2021, National Human Trafficking Awareness and Prevention Month, whereas human trafficking is a nationwide public health and civil rights crisis. Its victims and survivors are everywhere, with the city of San Juan being no exception. And whereas human trafficking includes both labor and sex trafficking with both international and domestic victims, and whereas anyone can become a victim of trafficking since traffickers target individuals who are vulnerable, while women and girls are the primary victims. Victims come from every background, race, gender, sexual orientation, and economic status, and whereas young people are particularly vulnerable to trafficking and exploitation, but face many barriers in reporting what has happened to them. Texas legislature in Senate Bill 72 designed a strategic plan to halt and prevent human trafficking in Texas, and whereas all communities must seek to prevent human trafficking before it can occur by promoting safe, healthy, and supportive environments, and whereas the city of San Juan is striving to become a place where people have opportunities available to them and where all people are worthy of freedom.
Now therefore be resolved that I, Mario Garza, by the power vested in me as the mayor of the city of San Juan, along with Mayor Pro Tem Lenny Sanchez, Commissioner Jesse Ramirez, Commissioner Neto Guajardo, and Commissioner Marky Villegas, hereby declare January 2021 as National Human Trafficking Awareness and Prevention Month. Thank you, sir.
Next item on the presentation, Mayor, Commissioners, is presentation on department reports. Tonight, like I said, we have Department of Planning and Zoning, the Fire Department, Department of Utilities, Department of Finance, Municipal Court, San Juan Library, Department of Sanitation, Police Department, and Department of Parks and Recreation. Everybody should be here readily available. Should you have any questions for them?
Any questions at this time, gentlemen?
Mayor, if I may?
Go ahead, sir.
Mr. Juan, I'm sure we're all aware of the fact that the government has decided not to extend the pay for COVID pay for employees that get the virus. So have we considered, I know the district has extended it for district employees, have we considered it for city employees?
No, so we have not done that.
Will we? Will it be on the agenda?
Would it be on the agenda at the next meeting? Yes,
At the
sir.
next meeting? Perfect. Thank you.
Mayor, I want to welcome all the directors for the new year. Happy New Year's to everyone. And I'm hoping that this new year is a better one for all of us. And God bless every single one of you guys and your employees and the City of San Juan employees along so we can better assist our citizens of San Juan. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem.
Mr. Arjona, I don't know if you can answer this for me or Mr. Sin. The damages that were sustained during the hurricane last summer, have they been taken care of here in the library? Or
Last summer one.
what's the status?
I know we have the law office of Mr. Garcia, Ramon Garcia, looking into that. As a matter of fact, last week I spoke to the gentleman that is representing on that is assisting Ramon Garcia. He's doing the work, and as a matter of fact, we did communicate with that, and we keep in touch before every other month. He needed some paperwork, and we have already submitted that to the controller's office, and we're just waiting on that. Yes, sir.
Now, as far as the on sanitation report, Mr. Arjona or Mr. Garza, I know that last month, the month of November, we had 6 trucks down. And this last month of December, we had 4 trucks down. What's the status? Where are we at on the garbage vehicles, the trucks that have been down for at least 2 months?
Once, Mr. Garza.
Yes, Commissioner, right now we have a roll-off that is down, and we have one residential truck that is down. Other than that, we're at full force. I expect those trucks to be repaired here in the upcoming weeks.
Are those the new vehicles, Mr. Garza?
I'm sorry, Commissioner?
Are those the new trucks that were recently purchased that are down, or are they the old vehicles?
No, they're the older trucks, sir.
You're not having any problems with any of the new ones? Can you hear me? Remember,
No,
there's no problems at all with any of the new ones?
no, not with the new ones. The new ones are
Catching
working
back
fine.
up with our old
It's just the older ones that
Okay.
are kind of
You
giving
said
us a
it's
little
down
bit of
to 2 now?
problems.
You said there's only 2 of them, right? Correct?
Yes, sir.
Right now, yes, sir.
Okay, there's a delay.
And just so you'll know, we had a meeting last week in reference to the vehicles. So we're formulating a plan of action so that come this, whether we can do it now or the next fiscal year, so that we can actually lease additional equipment. As you know, the city is not going, I mean, it's growing, it's not getting any smaller. So we're growing. There's many subdivisions coming up. So one of the things that we spoke about during the meeting was that let's formulate a plan of action as to how many roll-ups do we need, additional front loaders, side loaders, and whatever we need at the sanitation department so that we can fulfill the requirements of the citizens that are coming into the city of San Juan. The last thing we want is to be running around and being late on the pickup and the trash services and the brush services. So we're working on that already.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because that was going to be the next concern of mine, that I saw on the list from the planning and zoning that we have a lot of new subdivisions, and I wanted to make sure that we do have a plan in place, because, or if we budget it, I don't know if we budget it, I don't know when these subdivisions are going to be available for people to start
Subdivision's gonna be
building.
available within the next 2 to 3 months.
Okay.
They're gonna start popping on already. But as a matter of fact, just because of that, Mr. Gatz and his team supervisors, we met and we formulated a plan of action as to how many vehicles additional do we need to fulfill those requirements.
Awesome, perfect, thank you.
No, and to replace the old ones that were.
That is correct.
yeah.
sir.
Also, do we know if, Mr. Garza, if we are, what is our expenditures in our braking of the vehicles? Like, are we spending a lot of money in repairs versus, we actually replace the unit? You know, it's really important to know that if we're spending X amount of dollars, high dollars on repairs versus getting a new unit, and the life of expectancy of a new one will obviously will supersede the expenditures that we're spending right now on fixtures.
That was part of the conversation that we had. One of the vehicles that, just to repair, one of those bigger vehicles, we're looking at the high 40s, high 50s. However, the cost of a new vehicle, one of those big trucks, is about 200 and plus change. So
Basically, I mean, we're phasing them out.
we're going to be starting phasing those out. As a
As
matter of
long as
fact,
we start phasing them out, I think that's a good thing. I mean,
we're not only going to be purchasing new ones, but also replacing the existing ones that we have because of that purpose.
And I just have one more, Mr. Arjona, one more question. I know that this past weekend, there was a resident that was trying to get a hold of animal control. And for whatever reason, they were told that there's nobody available during the weekend. But I know we budget for overtime. So how does that work? How are we handling that?
I already spoke to Chief. What we need to put them is on call, and they're already on call. I spoke to Chief a couple of weeks ago, last weekend, because some of these concerns that people were coming up with, dead animals and stuff like that. And yes, it is true. We didn't have the staff to go out on the weekends. However, it was on a call basis, on a per call basis. But now, because of this here, we're gonna start doing it on a rotation, put them on a call.
Okay.
On the weekends, just like utilities, just like the sanitation people. So also animal control is gonna be on call.
Great. All right,
Yes.
thank you.
And it's not only gonna be for the weekends, but also for the weekdays.
Okay, good, thank you, sir.
Now, Mr. Arjona, going back to the, I guess, under the sanitation, I know the gentlemen were talking about the trucks and being broken down. The question I have is, were there any services interrupted?
No.
There, I know.
No, sir.
So we were serving every
Yes.
citizen, everything was getting
Yes,
taken care of.
As a
Good.
matter of fact, we're supposed to be on schedule with the brush pickup, and also we're not behind on any trash pickup or anything like that, Mr. Garza.
Correct, sir. We are in schedule on the brush pickup, and all the routes are on. And our drivers are out there till they finish the routes.
Yes.
I have one more question, Mayor. And this goes for Mr., for the, not sanitation, but the drainage. What's the status that we have as far as the citrus, the inlet that we're trying to fix and deroot that we had there? Mr. David, sorry.
On Citrus Street, sir?
Yes, but I think that's a question for Mr. David.
No, that's Mr. Garza.
Yes,
Oh,
on Citrus, we're waiting. We did place the chemical in November. It takes about 2 months for that chemical to the deroot, to break down the roots inside the storm line. Once we get that, we'll call in the company to come in and do an assessment on the storm line and remove all the roots. Once they decompose by the use of the chemical.
Okay, thank you. So what's the time frame that we're gonna get that project on its way and completion? Because we're going on our third hurricane season, and we're still dealing with that issue.
We should start really doing an assessment on that line in the upcoming month,
Yeah, thank you,
just in time before the rainy season comes.
you got it. Thank you, sir.
It's my last question, going back to the sanitation department and Mr. Arjona. There's one thing that I would like for you gentlemen to really sit down and dissect the numbers as far as what I'd like to see here in the future, looking into getting our trash picked up twice a week. I know I'm not gonna sit up here and say it's gonna get done, but what I'd like to see done is I'd like to see you guys really, like I say, dissect the numbers, see what it costs on the price of the diesel, running around twice a week and picking up obviously the trash. The issue that's happening and that I've spoken to our citizens, and that's a very, very good concern, because as you know, we have citizens in a household that maybe it's just 2, but then we have some that have 6, and once a week it's tough. I mean, their trash is gonna get filled within 2 days. So I'd like for you guys to really sit down and come back with the figures and see if there's something that we can look into, and if we can afford, okay? Because I know the price of diesel is expensive, the wear and tearing on the trucks as well, but it's just, I feel that we need to provide this service, because going back to, you know, subdivisions popping up, families are coming in, big families are coming in and purchasing rooftops in our community. So I think we need to be ready for this, and I think that maybe for the next meeting, you guys can maybe have a figure, or if not, you know, another 3 weeks down the road, it should, but.
One of the options that we spoke about, Mayor Commissioners, in reference to that was that, and we had the meeting with Mr. Garza and the supervisor, was that what would it take for us to get an additional permit through the Texas Water Development Board, or the, what is that, TCQ, so they can issue out a permit for a drop-off site. So meaning that our trucks, as the Commissioner and I, Mayor Pro Tem and I spoke about, was that instead of going all the way to Edinburgh and drop off the trash, drop it off here, and then once that site is already full, then get a roll-off to take it over to the sanitation, to the landfill. So that will expedite that. and maybe the route, instead of taking 4 hours, it'll maybe shorten up by maybe 2, and we can expedite it. But if we were to purchase additional trucks, additional vehicles, that'll give us the opportunity to fulfill that, along with that additional permit with the TCQ. So we're looking into those options on the TCQ permit, so that'll give us another way of expediting the
Good.
pickup and the drop-off.
Okay, yeah,
Mayor, and to add that with that, Mayor, I'm looking at also the fact that, we'll have those trucks in the city, and the life expectancy of that truck will survive a little bit more more time in our city. And we won't take those individuals off the city long enough where we can actually, fulfill the requirements of the citizens and rapid response as far as picking up the trash.
Mr. Garza, and the mayor's correct, but I remember bringing this up to you a while back, and we started kind of analyzing a little bit, if you recall. Yes, okay, and I think some of the things that we did, like we're discussing here, that may be looked at is, I think that one of the bigger things to do through our city manager, and y'all get together, is who would need pick up a second day, you know what I'm saying? To where you can utilize time and you're being efficient at the same time. Like Mayor's correct, the difference in demographics, you may have a family of 2, may have a family of 6 or 7. The demand is more for some than it is for the others, in other words, okay? And at that point, seeing what it would cost, now when you get into the cost estimate and start figuring that out, well, we'll see where we can do whatever it takes to get it done. But let's make sure that we have something in place and in a plan, so we can try to look at the different variables and different options. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
anything else, gentlemen? If not, go ahead, we'll move on, sir.
Yes, on the next section, public hearings, we have, hold the second and final public hearing for the voluntary annexation petition of the 9.32 acre tract of land out of lot 14, block 47, Alamo Land and Sugar Company subdivision, as per the map recorded in volume 1, pages 24 through 26. The map records Hidalgo County, Texas, located approximately 3/4 of a mile east of Raul Longoria Road along the north side of Nolana Avenue, as requested by Juan Maldonado. As you know, it's there within your packet, the exact location on and the property. This is a second public hearing. Open it up.
This is east of Raul Longoria.
East, yes, on the north side of.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay. All right, this is a, let me see, yes. At this time, I'm gonna go ahead and, open this up for a public hearing at 6:18 p.m. Is there anyone here for or against? For or against? Is there any questions from the members of the commission in reference to this item? If not, I'll go ahead and close this up at 6:18 p.m. Is there a motion to approve? Is there a second? Been second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries, sir.
The next item, hold a public hearing for a rezoning request from single-family residence district to multifamily resident district of Lot 9, Block 3, Pecan State subdivision, located approximately 1/4 of a mile east of Raul Longoria along the north side of Sergeant Leonel Trevino Road, as requested by Victor Limas.
Yes, and Mayor and Commissioners, the Planning and Zoning Commission, they did review this item. You know, the city feels that it's kind of a spot zoning on that issue because there's a lot of residential, there's not really commercial. If it was more towards a commercial area, then maybe they could rezone it to the multifamily. And for that reason, the Planning and Zoning Commission denied this request for zone change.
Mr. Escobar, I didn't hear the last statement you made, sir. Can you repeat yourself
Oh
again?
yes, the Planning and Zoning Commission, they actually denied this request because it's It's just a lot that's within the residential that they're changing to multifamily. If it was by commercial, it'd be a little bit different. But since it's just right in the flat in a single family residential, the city planning and zoning commission denied the request.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and open this up at 6:20 PM. Is there anyone here for or against? For or against? Any questions from the members of the commission?
So, Mr. Escobar, so your recommendation is to deny, right? Correct?
Yes, my recommendation would be to deny, and the planning and zoning commission also requested to deny.
Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, I'm gonna go ahead and close this at 6:21 PM. Is there a motion to approve or
Motion to
deny?
approve as recommended?
Or deny, right?
Right,
Deny.
as deny, as recommended, deny.
Is there a second?
I'll second, Mayor.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Keep, just for the record, Mayor, the reason of my decision as far as keep denial is, I like to keep the city uniform, and that's the reason I have that vote.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
The next item, hold a public hearing for a conditional use permit for the sale of alcoholic beverages for off-premise consumption at Sunny Supermart located 102 South Nebraska Avenue, legally described as Lot 7 and 8, Block 4, San Juan Original Townsite, located at southwest corner of Nebraska and First Street, as requested by Sunny G Enterprises Incorporated.
And this is just a conditional use permit. It's actually an existing business and a new owner, so they're applying for the TABC permits. They actually did some remodeling, so they're just going through the requirement for the city to apply for TABC and a conditional use permit.
With that being said, I'm gonna open this up at 6:22 PM. 6:22 PM. Is there anyone here for or against? For or against? Any questions from the members of the commission?
No, sir.
Okay. I'll go ahead and close this up at 6:22 PM. Is there a motion to approve? Is there a second? I'll second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Next item is hold a public hearing for a conditional use permit for the sale of alcoholic beverages for off-premise consumption at Theo Jerry Neighborhood Market, located 205 West Nolana Avenue, Suites 5 and 6, legally described as Lot 1, San Juan Plaza subdivision, as requested by Gerardo Chapa Jr., DBA Galopez Investments LLC.
This is also a conditional use permit. This is for that plaza that's located with Elia's restaurant. They're all that's required by the city. It's a totally new business, so it's going to be a kind of a neighborhood market. So it's something that's good for the city.
This time I'm gonna open it up at 6:23 PM. Is there anyone here for or against? For or against? Any questions from the members of the commission? If not, I'll go ahead and close this at 6:23 PM. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
The next item, hold a public hearing for a conditional use permit for the sale of alcoholic beverages for off-premise consumption at H&H Food Mart located 914 West Sam Houston Boulevard, legally described as Lot 1, Clark Mellon Brooks subdivision, located at southeast corner of Sam Houston and Veterans Boulevard, is requested by Valley United Incorporated. Squad.
So, Mayor and Commissioners, this is also an existing business. It's just a new owner that purchased it, so they're making some improvements, and they have to apply for a conditional use and also for the TABC permits as well. So it's just the same process as the other ones.
Now, Mr. Escobar, in reference, I'm sorry, let me go ahead and open this up. I'm gonna go ahead and open this up at 6:24 PM. Is there a motion? I'm sorry. Is there anyone here for or against? For or against? Any questions from the members of the commission? The only thing I do have is when they apply for these type of permits, do you give them a hard copy of what you're requesting?
Oh, yes, we'll give them a list of the that they need. It's usually the occupational license, health permit, and then also they have to get an inspection by the building and the fire department as well.
Okay, good. All right. Any other questions? If not, I'm gonna go ahead and close this at 6:25 PM. Is there a motion to approve? Is there a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
The next item on the discussion and possible action, we have consideration and approval of planning director's determination of city's annual population for the year ending 2020. Mr. Escobar?
Yes, here the city had our 2020 census. We got about 60% participation, which is good for the city. Right now, our population is about 33,856. That's as of 2010. So we're just doing a projection to see, the numbers of the census actually come out in May of 2021. But if we do a projection, we project maybe 30 to 35% increase in population this year. In the past year, we had the last 10 years, we had 20%. So I think a 30 to 35 is a good estimate. So with that projection, we'll probably get between 44,000 and 45,000, a little bit more, give or take. And with all the annexations that we've had in the last 10 years, we've annexed about 142 acres, which the city has seen a lot of growth, and that's kind of a projection that we're going to project. But when the census does come out in May, we'll have a more accurate number. And there's a chart showing the projection and the historic population of the city.
And as you know, the census will be coming up here pretty soon. However, as you know, the census, there's a lot of people that actually because of whatever reason that they don't want to do it. So what we do here is we take pretty much like a census, but within the city, to estimate as to what the population actually is versus what the census is calling for. So based on all this growth from the past 10, 20 years, this is what we're estimating.
And by approving this, Mr. Arjona, how does that help us? Aside from the projections, yeah.
How does it help?
Yeah, do we get additional funding for?
Well, not necessarily, but one of the things that we do here, this is by charter, that's something that we have to be bringing up to the commission. It's something we haven't done, but we started doing this. Now, with this here in mind, there may be more when we go for grants, for funding and stuff like that, based on the population, and we're going to be going over a certain population that it count. So by having more, it's always better. Yes, sir.
But it does help though, because due to the census, that's how they were able to get the numbers for the COVID.
Yes,
The COVID money.
for the funding.
That's a good example right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's real good to make sure that we have projection, and then when we get a solid number like that, we'll know exactly what is
where we are,
allowed
right.
when
And
a
yeah,
government
we're gonna
entity
get the
does that.
census and we're gonna get our numbers. And a lot of times it's like, which one is more accurate? Is it the census or is it the numbers that we have? Because as you know, there's a lot of people that actually didn't get on the census or got cut off. But this will be more of an accurate based on what we're seeing, based on the water accounts, based on the household and stuff like that. So I think this will be a good tool for us to gauge as to where the city is at.
I think another idea that we can use to actually also kind of get a number is when someone is actually opening a water meter, a new household, you get a number of family members that are going to be living in that residence. Like gives you a kind of a gear also to gear how many actually measure the amount of people that are coming in. That's another idea.
So as per charter, you said it's supposed to be done every year?
At the beginning, yes, of the fiscal year.
Oh, okay. So we hadn't done it in the past
No, we
10
haven't
years.
done it.
Thank you.
Anything else? If not, is there a motion to approve? Is there a second? Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
The next item is consideration and action on the variance request to the subdivision ordinance to allow a 15-foot rear setback instead of a 20-foot required by code at the proposed Royal Ridge subdivision being a 14.121 acre tract of land out of lot 17 M&L Woods Property Unit Number 1 located at southwest corner of San Antonio Avenue and Ridge Road as requested by Milden and Hunt Incorporated.
Mayor Commissioners, this is subdivision located on San Antonio and Ridge Road. The developer's asking for a setback of 15 foot in the rear versus the normal 20. And the reason they're asking for that is because, you know, in some other cities, there's different zones that the cities have, but in San Juan, we only have one residential zone, so it's kind of restricting. So they want to go from the 20 to 15 on that. The Planning and Zoning Commission did approve the request for the variance as well.
Besides that, do you see any problems or foresee any problems with that?
No, we don't with that. There's been a few other subdivisions that also got a variance before. You know, we would like for them to follow the code as, you know, for sure as a city, but you know, sometimes they apply for these variances.
Well, I mean, and plus every situation is different.
Right.
So, I mean, that's a huge difference, okay?
Right.
Mr. Escobar, as far as the minutes for that meeting, they're not included. Can you tell me why there was the one voted against? Did they tell you why they were voting against it?
The reason, well, they brought up that you know, that our zoning only has that one single family residential, and they're kind of limited to that. So their homes that they want to build them a little bit smaller than the normal. So you know, that's why they requested that variance. And the Planning and Zoning Commission, they just did discuss it, and they approved it. I don't have the minutes because we just had that meeting last Thursday, so we didn't have time to put it on the agenda.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
But I believe the motions are provided, yeah.
How many lots are they planning to put there? Do you know the total lots?
It's 57 lots, and they're 60 by 100 size.
Okay, so now if we were to set back 15 feet, is that enough room for if we need the utilities or
Oh
anybody
yeah,
to go in there?
yeah, it would definitely be enough. No, there wouldn't be an issue. The 15 foot, there's the utility easement, so they wouldn't encroach into that setback. So there's no issues with that.
And we're sure about that, even though it's 5 feet that we're.
Yes.
Okay. All righty.
There's other subdivisions that we approved 10 feet rear setback.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? With that being said, is there a motion to approve? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
The next item is consider resolution authorizing the city of San Juan to submit and accept an application for funding to the Office of the Governor Homeland Security Division for Hidalgo 2019 Operation Stone Garden Project. This is Chief. Are you on the line?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And this is one of those grants that we get yearly, and as it says here, this is it's intended to reimburse the city for overtime, equipment, benefits associated in the meeting that goes to the program. No matching funds are associated with it.
Is there anything you want to add, Chief, to this item on the agenda?
No, sir. Everything that I need has been submitted. prior to this meeting. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you clearly.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, any questions for Chief?
I know it's Stone Garden, right? Yeah, by any chance, did our PD, get audited by Border Patrol this year? I know a lot of the agencies were getting, audited as far as equipment that was purchased through the Border Star, or actually Stone Garden since its inception and some time back. I was wondering if the city of San Juan had it, got audited, the PD.
Was that for me, Commissioner? I'm sorry,
Yes, sir.
I'm having a
Yes,
hard
yes, sir,
time
Chief.
hearing what,
I know some agencies throughout the valley got audited for the for assets that was purchased through Border Star. I'm sorry, Stone Garden. I keep on mixing them up. Stone Garden, and I was wondering if we're one of the agencies that was selected this year.
I'm trying to hear what you're saying as far
Well,
as
I
the
guess I'm
purchasing
not
of,
sure.
are
Well,
you
That I'm
speaking
aware
about
of,
vehicles?
Mayor Pro Tem, I don't think we got audited by the Border
Okay,
Patrol
good.
this year, that I'm aware of.
Thank you.
Thank you. I apologize, sir. Again, I'm having a hard time with the hearing.
Okay, with that being said, is there a motion to approve?
Move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
The next item is discussion and possible action on approving 2 additional toll record service permits. As it was approved on the first item, on the director's determination of the city's annual population growth, that'll give us an additional space for 2 additional service, record service permits to be allowed within the city to be placed on the rotation.
Questions? If not, is there a motion to approve? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed?
I was just looking for it because I don't see it.
Go ahead. 142?
Next item on the resolutions, we have consideration and action on the resolution
Voluntary
accepting a
annexation.
voluntary annexation petition, setting dates and times of public hearing, and directing the planning department to prepare service plans for the proposed Meadows on Ridge subdivision being a 5.42 acre tract of land out of Lot 12, Block 31, Alamo Land and Sugars Company subdivision, Hidalgo County, Texas, according to the map recording volume 1, pages 24, 26. Map records are requested by Esponjas Development Ltd.
Mayor and Commissioners, this is a voluntary annexation request. It's actually a 32 acres property that's going to be a residential development. So they're going through the annexation process so that they can be within the city limits. So we're going to have 2 public hearings and then also the 2 ordinance readings as well. I don't know if you have any particular questions on this one.
Mayor, if I can intervene, I am a little lost because I think I don't have certain pages on this agenda. We are on the page 142, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now I know where we're at. Yeah, I don't have the prior one. That's why I got lost.
I'm missing that one. That's what I threw it on.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Which one were y'all missing?
I'm missing the record one. I know I read it, but I don't know where I read it. I
Yeah,
don't
there's
see it
no-
here.
It's
I
not
don't
on-
see it here. I read it though. I don't have it.
Yeah.
Right. There wasn't. I don't
That's
think
all.
it's on the right. On the right.
Yeah. It's not in.
That's fine. Go ahead.
But it's
Mayor.
okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Questions for, excuse me, for Mr. Robert Escobar?
I'm sorry. Can we repeat, Mayor? I'm sorry. It's because I was busy looking where, make sure I was in the right place.
Say resolution, and what it says, consideration and action on the resolution accepting a voluntary annexation petition, setting dates and times of public hearings, and directing the planning department to prepare the service plan for the proposed Meadows on Ridge subdivision, being a 5.42 acre tract of land out of Lot 12, Block 31, Alamo Land and Sugar Company subdivision, Hidalgo County, Texas, according to the map recording volume 1, pages 24 to 26. The map records as requested by Esponjas Development.
Gotcha.
And like Mr. Escobar, we have the voluntary annexation. So,
Questions?
No.
If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
next one is consideration and action on resolution accepting a voluntary annexation petition, setting the dates and times of public hearings, and directing the planning department to prepare service plan for a proposed Valley Ranch subdivision phase two, being a 23.70 acre tract of land out of lot 6, block 27, Alamo Land and Sugar Company subdivision in Hidalgo County, Texas, according to the map recorded in volume 1, pages 24 to 26 records, map records as requested by OC Development LTD.
And this is also a voluntary annexation petition. It's located on Cesar Chavez and Hall Acres. It's a Valley Ranch. They're also going through the process. It's going to go into the city, which is going to be great. We're going to get property taxes. We're going to get more population in the city. So this is great for the city. And they're just going through the voluntary annexation process as well.
All right, any questions for Mr. Escobar? If not, is there a motion approved? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
The next item is consideration and action on a resolution accepting another voluntary annexation petition, setting dates and times of public hearings, and directing the planning department to prepare the service plan for Hidalgo County Drainage Canal, being a 5.68 acre tract of land out of lots 4 and 5 and 6, block 27, Alamo Land and Sugar Company subdivision, Hidalgo County, Texas, according to the map recorded in volume 1, pages 24 to 26, map records and special warranty deed recorded under the county clerk's document number 881147 and 881148, as requested by Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1.
This also, it's a petition from the Hidalgo County Drainage District to put the drainage canal actually in the city. It's located on Cesar Chavez and Hall Acres. This is east of Valley Ranch subdivision. What's important about this one is that the drainage from the city goes south and it actually goes to this drain ditch. So that's beneficial to the city, and as well the city can, in the future, annex all the drainage districts and drainage canals in the city, so that maybe we can do a walking trail or even a bike trail. So it's beneficial to have that, since a lot of our drainage goes into that drainage ditch as well. So they're petitioning for this voluntary annexation as well.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Escobar? Not, is there a motion to approve? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Under consent agenda, we have items A through F. Notice that you can pull any item out, should you like to discuss any of these items further, or approve them like that as a whole.
Time, is there anything we need to, under consent agenda, amend or modify? Amend or modify under consent agenda?
Mayor, if I may,
Go ahead, sir.
the only thing on the minutes, Ms. Cavazos, on the minutes on page 288, where Tuesday, August the 25th, where it pertains to the text dot and the rerouting of the commercial vehicles, I voted against, and then here it shows that it was all unanimous. So you can fix that one for me, please. Thank you. And that's all, Mayor.
That being said, is there a motion to approve? Is there a second?
Second.
With those amendments.
Yeah, with those, yeah.
Well, I guess, I'll make a motion to approve with the conditions that Mr. Ramirez imposed.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item on the executive session, the San Juan City Commission will convene an executive session in accordance with the Texas Open Meeting Act, Vernon, Texas statutes, and Code Sanitary Government Code Chapter 551.071, consultation with attorney. Number 1, pursuant to section 551.074, personal matters, discuss the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duty, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee, parentheses, city manager.
This time, is there a motion to go in executive session? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We will be in executive session at 6:44 p.m. We're back from executive session at 7:32 p.m. Is there a motion to reconvene?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Under executive session, A1, discuss the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee. city manager.
Motion, Mayor?
Make a motion.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
I'd like to make a motion to, as discussed, and, extend it's a one-year contract, is that right, legal?
If your motion is to grant him a one-year contract,
Extend it,
and then basically if you want to mirror the same terms that he had before,
correct.
you can mirror the same terms.
That would be the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
And second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
This meeting has been adjourned at 7:33 PM. Thank you.
Thank you.